Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Time FPL, our weekly Fantasy Premier League football podcast where we talk about some tips and tricks and things that you might find useful about. Today we've got a special video. We've got a wildcard video with 2024 kicking off. Hope you guys have had a good season, good new year so far. But with 2024 kicking off, we have a new wildcard for those that have played theirs. So it's almost like a clean slate. So Mike and myself are going to go through a team which we think would be the best. Hopefully you can find some players on that team, but we'll talk about it and go from there. Mike, how's it going?
All good. 2024, ready to overtake you and Ridwan and everybody else.
You're very close, very close.
Yeah. Every week I get close and then you pull ahead, and I get close, you pull ahead, like my rival. But
yeah,
wildcards. Everybody and their mothers playing their wildcard. You either playing your wildcard now, or you playing your wildcard to fix your team later to address what you're about to do now.
Probably going to happen in January, let's be honest, majority.
AFCON and AgeCon have killed us. Our players are gone.
Salah
we
and
have
Son,
injuries.
We
have injuries. There are injuries coming left, right, and center from every which way. My team looks like a like red and
they've
yellow.
Been red carded.
It looks like a traffic light because it's green in the back, it's red and yellow everywhere else. So we all need a wildcard intervention here to doctor our team, and that's why Dr. Nate and Dr. Mike are here to give you a little bit of medical advice on how to solve your problems with the wildcard.
There we go. I think should we start up front and mix it around? Because with the talks of Haaland coming back, do we make space for him in a wildcard draft? Do we wait?
I think that my suggestion, and I don't know what you feel about this, for me, I agree with you, because the problem is we don't know when he's going to start, but he is going to start. And if you're making a team without Haaland, you are making it very difficult to bring him in.
Yeah.
So I agree. Let's put Haaland in there. However, keeping in mind that if we wanted to start without him, at the end of this wildcard draft, we just take him out, slot another striker in, so that we can easily put him back in. But that money is banked, right? So let's put him there. But I really want to start in the midfield because I feel midfield.
That's where the majority of players, and also majority of players, are missing from the midfield as well.
So I'm going to start with my pick, and I know my first pick is one you may not have in your team because they are rubbish right now, and that is Mr. Starboy himself, Saka. I am on train. Stay with Saka. I know Arsenal are looking really bad right now, but Saka's form has always been consistent so far this season. Even when Arsenal lose, he scores points, and I'm not ready to drop a top 5 FPL midfielder for the first half of the season right now. Even if you look at his fixture, I know we say fixture is bad. He's got decent fixtures. He's got the form to back up.
I will say though, he did manage to net a goal last week, so maybe it's a sign of incline again for him. And I did hold him, by the way, so I did get the points for him last week. So yeah,
I just know that he's going to be in a lot of teams' wildcard drafts where he's the sacrificial lamb for a lot of potential midfielders. I'm talking about Foden especially, because I have a Fodenless team. So I'm going to start with Saka, and what that does is it gives me a lot of options to move out, because if you're moving out from Saka later in January, I can move to a Foden, or I can move to somebody who stars,
There's a controversial opinion going around about whether you should hold Salah, just looking at that next pick next to Saka, of at what point do you think you keep him? Because some players bought him in when he was 12.5, and now he's 13.2 at the moment, steadily declining. But at what point do you decide to sell him or keep him?
What do you think first? And I'll tell you what I think.
For me personally, I think I'm going to keep him because I was one of those that got him at 12.5, and I don't think he'll drop to that by the time he's back. It's just a monitoring thing, but also then I'm losing 5 mil if I want to bring him back. So it's just something I have to think about. But at the moment, I'm on the side of keep.
And I'm on the opposite side. I knew you were on the side of keep. I'm on the side of sell. And my reasoning is this: FPL is so unpredictable that I would rather work with the framework of the players I have available with the money I have available in the moment.
Mm.
The reason I say this is let's say in a world where I sell Salah and you don't, what if he goes to Egypt and he gets
Big
injured and he
injury.
comes back and he's out for the rest of the season?
Mm.
You held him now, and that held you back for 2 months of progressing forward with that money spread elsewhere. So for me, I'm gonna just go everybody
So
out who's not playing, set my team up, and if Salah comes back, who knows? By the time Salah comes back, the players that we've been using might be in such hot form that you could play a Salah-less team. There are some people who have started this season. I think someone in the top 10 in the world has not had Haaland once this season yet.
wow. Well, there you go.
Right? With Salah out, let's start with my pick for replacement of Salah. Now, you might have some options, Nate, but I'm gonna go with. I'll put it down now. I'm gonna go with somebody from Liverpool because
Ooh,
I feel that
he's on my
I
watch
need
list,
to
and I
have.
think we.
Well, here's the thing: it's going to be a debate because is it Jota or Dias?
Oh
Who are
yeah.
you putting in?
Well, my watch list that I'll talk about in the pod on Wednesday in the next couple of days is Diogo Jota. So he would have been my pick to put in as a replacement for Salah.
And I
Darwin
agree
Núñez is
with
a
you.
hit and a miss, and Diaz is also. I think Diaz and Núñez are on the same boat. They're kind of a hit and a miss. They can haul big, but they're not consistent. Jota is consistent.
Listen, Nunes, I give up with that guy in the forward position. I'm not touching him in my forwards, but in a midfield, with Salah
He is
missing,
better.
if I'm going on past FPL and Premier League experience, Jota has often come in at times when Salah is not available or Salah is injured, and he performs. The problem is he hasn't been starting. He's come off an injury. He didn't even start in Arsenal Liverpool FA Cup first match, so he didn't even start that match. But he came on in the second half, and they were better in the second half. So my money is on Jota to start in my team.
While we're on this Liverpool train, I think we can both agree that Trent Alexander-Arnold is a must-have for a wildcard draft team. I think he should come in as well.
Yeah, good idea.
Because also, people are saying that Liverpool might suffer without Salah. I don't think so. I don't think he'll have a KDB effect because Liverpool are actually great from the back as well. And they don't struggle scoring goals. Like Trent can score a goal, Van Dijk can score a goal.
Harry Kane effect.
Yeah.
Because when Harry Kane left Spurs as a
Madison
team,
stepped up,
everybody
Son stepped up, Richarlison stepping up, Kulusevski stepped up.
I think we both have the opinion, and I'm happy that you said that because I think you're exactly 100% right. Alexander-Arnold is playing more defensive. Now, with Salah not being present on the right
who's
wing,
the attack threat?
Alexander-Arnold can step up and fill that void of being the attacking threat. So we might lose a clean sheet, but we might get more goals out of Alexander Trent now.
I wouldn't be surprised because also Liverpool are first. They're not going to throw that away. They're going to do their best to hold that lead. I wouldn't be surprised if Trent, by the end of January or maybe mid-Feb, he's gone up to a 9 mil player if he keeps it going at this rate. It's very possible. So I would recommend bringing him in as well. But I would leave Liverpool there, I think. I wouldn't really touch anyone else from that team. Tsimikas was great, but he's out injured. You can do Van Dijk if you don't want Trent, because Van Dijk is not going to get you as many clean sheets as you might think, but he will get you the odd header and assist, possibly, because he does do long ball forwards. But if you want a cheap way into Liverpool, it would be Van Dijk or Trent. I wouldn't go Gomez or Konate or any one of those players. I think
at this point I wouldn't be doubling up on any defenders because I'd go 3 at the back. So it's Arnold, and if you can't afford him Van Dijk. You want to be silly, then go for Virgil.
But I wouldn't touch Becker. There's better goalkeepers for money. I would leave it there. Let's finish off the front three. Let's go back there because I think that our front three doesn't change, surprisingly enough, as much as we think. I think it's still a Watkins and Solanke front three.
I have a different opinion for my
third slot. Okay. Talk to me.
So
that's Solanke. We can agree on Solanke, or not?
No.
Oh, we agree on Watkins.
I agree on Watkins.
Okay.
Watkins 100% with with these players leaving
Are you
for
gonna
these
say Isak?
tournaments. No,
Okay.
I actually Isak is on my watch list
He is a
as
shout,
well.
yeah.
Okay, we're gonna talk about forwards. We'll put it this way. For me, I'm gonna go with gold, the older gold that's been tried and trusted and that's helped me through this start of the
So
season.
would you not then, instead of Haaland, go Solanke, and then you have Alvarez, Solanke, and Watkins?
Well, that's why we said at the beginning of this, put Haaland in there as a placeholder. We come back to him
Mm.
if we want to swap him out, and that's where the flexibility comes in. You would say if Haaland's injured, you're gonna do this,
100%.
right?
That's
For
what I would
me,
do.
you know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, I know what you're gonna do. It's
But
also
it gives
nice
you
though.
yeah, it gives you that flexibility. But you see, I think the trick here, and I think where we differ on, is this player over here. You
Yeah.
want to draw a line around him, you can. He
Yeah.
he is the one player who I feel like I'm gonna stay with until I see the impact of KDB changing Man City, right? Because I don't know if Haaland is gonna play or not, but at the moment I know Alvarez is playing every game. So for me, there's
No,
nothing wrong with Alvarez.
it is a good pick, and he's cheap in comparison to Watkins and Solanke. Now he's cheap. That's wild. I
So
never thought I would
would
say that. I never thought Alvarez would be cheaper than Solanke. It's crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, but he's a good shout.
Uh,
He's a good shout.
So that would be my pick for a forward. But I hear you, and I think it's good for everybody out there to know what our options are in forwards. If you're not going Solanke and you're not going Alvarez and you're not going Isak, those wild card crazy picks, there's another guy that everybody's talking about, and that's João Pedro. He's back.
Yeah.
He's on form. He's on fire, and Brighton have the fixtures to really pull through. But instead of going with Pedro up front, because I still don't trust how in the beginning of the season we were all hurt because we brought him in,
Yeah,
and then
he
he
was
wasn't
supposed to be
playing consistently.
the golden boy, the gifted 5.5 million player.
I do think he could be that now, but right now I'm going to start with having a player from Brighton who is going to actually be 100% starting every game, and that is my friend Pascal Gross.
Gross.
He is in my midfield pick for my wild card because of their fixtures are amazing, and he's involved in anything and everything that they do. If he's gonna be assisting, he may be scoring. He's really the centerpiece of that team, and with Matoma gone as well, you now have and Ringa injured. He's more than likely the main man there. So
Yeah,
he is the main man. And that brings us to my second must-have defender pick at the same time. Do you agree with that?
Stupinan. I did a transfer after the weekend for a Brighton defender.
Was it a stupid?
No, it wasn't. It was Van Eyck. Yeah, I'll cook. I'll tell you all about it on Wednesday. But I'm cooking something up, making a roast Sunday meal.
I'm shocked you made an early transfer.
I wanted
some price drops.
Yeah, Trippier, stuff that guy. I'm done with him. But yes, Estupinan. I would round off the defense and say Pedro Porro, Trent, Estupinan. I would put Pedro Porro in. I don't think you should sleep on him any longer. He's going to be the new Kieran Trippier, I think.
I think in a back three, those are the best three attacking defenders you can have right now for fixtures, for attacking threat, and just for the way Spurs play. Those three defenders are. And would you say those are your defenders as well?
Yeah, pretty much. There is someone that I'm playing with the idea of though, and that's Kyle Walker. With the rounded out value of 5.4 and better fixtures coming up, if you want to dip into City, they need to start keeping clean sheets and stuff. So it's just someone I played with.
I'll tell you why I was thinking you have a point is because I know that Man City in the second half of the season, the opposite of Arsenal. They're going to go on an undefeated run for the next 15 games to just walk the title. And part of that is going to be keeping clean sheets. However, he hasn't shown, and they haven't shown that yet, which is why I haven't really jumped on that train.
Yeah.
And so
but it's definitely someone to watch.
Yeah. I would, if I'm going to stay on my defense, I would round that off by filling up my defense with players who are playing but are cheap enablers, and you know who I'm going to go for. He's playing left wing back. He's playing right back. If Pochettino wants him to play centre forward, he'll play
Yeah,
centre forward.
Malagusto.
If Chilwell is one thing you can 1000% know who's going to be injured, either Chilwell or James or both. And so
Yep,
now we have a ready-made player who's playing in both their positions, and he's
Malagusto.
enabling us for
And he's a
FPL.
great player. He
Yeah,
is a
he's going to
great player.
probably be on my bench. It's okay, but that's just the way it is.
I also wouldn't mind Lascelles just leaving him there as a very cheap alternative defender. But I'm also still not too upset with leaving Taylor in. Although he's picked up a bit of a knock, but Taylor's proven to do his job. He's there on the odd occasion to get you points when you need him to, and he does. But if you're looking
The only
for
problem is the Celsius minutes went down a bit when everybody started coming back from
yeah,
injuries.
yeah.
It's my only
But
concern.
we'll have to see what the lineup is with Eddie Howe. But like I say, you're looking for that filler defender. And if you still want Newcastle, Lascelles, otherwise I would back Charlie Taylor. He's done it for me. When I needed him to start, he started and he got points. And when I didn't, he benched and he didn't get points. So he did what he was supposed to. And he's 4 mil still, I believe. So you could save a bit of money there. But I think he's someone I might leave in my team.
I'm going to come back to my defensive slot. I'm going to show you something at the end.
Can we please put
Now,
Bowen in? Actually,
okay.
come on,
See,
guy.
here's the problem. Bowen is injured.
Yeah, true.
Bowen is injured, and he would have been in everybody's draft team. Unfortunately, because Bowen is injured, but not only Bowen, what's worse than that is Paqueta is a long-term injury.
And Kudus is gone.
Now, it's starting to look like
A
moving
downfall.
to Bowen before this January has been a little bit of a mistake. I was trying to keep pace with you, but right now he's not in my wildcard team draft because I trust Haaland coming back more than I trust Bowen coming back. And there's too many options in midfield. There's
Fair.
way too many.
Fair.
We can come back to that, but I want to stay with Chelsea because after Gusto, there's another Chelsea player in my 11, and that is Stone Cold.
Stone Cold
Palmer.
Stone Cold Palmer. Yeah.
Look at this guy.
He doesn't disappoint, does he?
No, he assists,
keeps
he attacks,
rewarding.
we lose, he wins points, he's on penalties. What doesn't he do, man? He's just thank Pep for this guy.
Yeah. No, I back it. I back Cole Palmer. I back keeping him. So I would leave. That would be your starting midfielder. And you could put a nice fifth player as a bench depth player, but that would be your core midfield at the moment, I think.
Well, there's one more player missing. Who would you put in that slot?
Richarlison for me.
Exactly. Because he does have the fixtures. Here's the problem with Richarlison, and here's where I agree with you again on this being the midfield and him being the bench player. Spurs have a lot of injuries right now.
They do.
Injuries in the look at this.
You can see it now. Yeah, look at that.
Injuries in the worst of places, and injuries plus people going to tournaments. It's not looking good for Spurs as a whole. And I don't know if Son leaving is one thing, but Son leaving when Spurs have that many injuries,
Yeah,
I think we have to be wary of Spurs just as a unit. Can they sustain the attacking threat that they've had? And Richarlison has just hit his form, but now with Son out, does that mean we go back to the Richarlison that's making us want to cry? So
yeah. But for now, it's as it is. It makes sense to put him in your team.
I'm just going to do my goalkeepers quickly. And if I look at my goalkeepers, I'm going to go with my tried and tested Areola.
I agree with you.
And because he scores, he doesn't score. Goalkeepers are very hard to sort of prepare. And you're going to be safe. The only time that he didn't play, Fabianski played in his place. So I would just do that.
I like it. It's been a while since we've seen that strategy.
And if you wanted to get a different goalkeeper, who would you go for? Instead of Fabianski as a backup goalie?
Well, so Dubravka is still playing. I think Pope's still out for a while. I don't know if I take him out yet because I got him at 3.9 and he's gone up a bit. maybe it's time to cash out. But Newcastle's defenders are all coming back. So does that mean they start to sharpen up at the back? Maybe. It's worth a look. So I might actually just stick on Dubravka.
I think you're right. My problem with that is every single time I choose one, the other scores. I choose one, the other scores.
It's been
It's
like
so
that though, hey?
unpredictable.
Been
And
like that.
so I'm at the point where I'm tired of making the wrong choice.
So you go with the
And
safe double goal.
because if I just had one, I would have scored more points in by moving between them. So that's why I would go do this for my wild card.
I
The
do like
only
that strategy.
downside, there's only one downside to this.
Tough fixtures.
You can't use your bench boost effectively with that strategy.
True. That is true
your
because
bench
one
boost
of
is
them will
good.
start.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So think about it. Also depends on if you're
What your
planning on
strategy
playing
is.
your bench boost or not. And then this
I
is
just
actually my team.
just an honorable mention. I do want to say Petrovic is playing really well for Chelsea.
No, it's insane. But
I think he stays if Sanchez comes back. Just by the way, for those of you that have held Sanchez or were on Sanchez, I wouldn't be against moving to Petrovic. And I think Petrovic is 4.5. I don't know. Let's just check. I could be wrong.
he is 4.5.
So
he is looking good, but I wouldn't trust Chelsea.
the Chelsea isn't stable. Had Chelsea have shown a different side earlier in the season, I would say Chelsea had it been a Mourinho, if Petrovic was playing for Mourinho, I would say 100% you need to bring him in because
if Gusto was 4.5, I wouldn't be bringing him in.
I agree with you. I almost didn't bring him in after the price rise. I wanted him at 4.1 and then he rose and I was like, now I'm thinking about it. I think, yeah, he needs to stay at that level. 4.3, it's probably a no for me. It's climbing too quickly.
So this is my wildcard team, except for one spot. Okay. Now I know it looks like I don't have money,
Also,
but I actually have money in the bank. This is not my main account. I have money in the bank. So I'm gonna do something to finish this team off, my team, and then Nate, you have 5 minutes to just tell me how you would rip this up and
replace
really
it.
change it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do something, okay? You're not gonna like it.
Oh dear. Oh dear. No. Don't do it.
I have the money for this in my main account, okay?
Don't do it.
It's a new year. What if this guy just turns up? If you're talking about the three best attacking defenders before this year, even though at the end of the year he tanked,
Bro,
he's so good.
I don't like that you've done this because he's actually going to score now that I've taken him out.
So, I mean, you look at his fixtures after this tough one against Man City, there's a whole lot of green coming for this month. There's home fixtures against Bournemouth and Luton. So, and away at Forest, which can be good if you play well. But the thing is, we don't know what type of Newcastle is going to arrive. So, and that's why when you were saying put Lascelles in, for now I don't mind doing something like that. A Lascelles, a Botman, a Scar, whoever plays. But realistically, like if you had the money for this, if you have the money, why not? If you wildcard, why not?
I would also maybe consider looking at Botman as well if you couldn't afford him. So either one. But I don't like that you've done that to me, and now I have things to think about.
Okay, give me your wild card.
Okay.
Any changes to this team? Because I know your team is similar to mine.
What
changes?
I would take out Fabianski and put in David Raya.
Why?
Well, because Arsenal are chasing the lead, and how do you chase a lead? Keep clean sheets. And I also think Raya is actually been playing well, and he could give you that extra point boost on the odd occasion that Areola doesn't. But now this is me going against the grain. I would take out Areola and leave Dubravka. This is for fun.
Oh, I see. So you would go with Dubravka.
Where's he at? There he is.
I see.
But you could play between either him and Areola, I would say. Dubravka or Areola, just depending, I would say. But Raya is a start for me. I'm happy with TAA. I'm happy with Porro. I would take out Trippier for Walker.
Beast mode.
And I would take out Estupinan for Konsa.
Really? Sheesh.
Man's making moves. Think about it, bro. It's who does it? Who? It's not Matty Cash anymore. So
Well, he just a heads up. Last time out, Cash was sick on the day. He wasn't. He
yeah,
didn't not start
wasn't
because
it
he was
injury?
injured. He was just had a sickness. I still think Cash at one point more in his attacking threat as a almost like a right wing back. I still rate him over Konsa, but sure. For now,
And Malo Gusto comes out for Gabriel.
man, are you an Arsenal fan?
Rudwan is. So that's my defense. Slightly different. That's completely different, except for Trippier. Except for Poro and Trent. Anyway, I take out Jota and I hold Salah. The Bowen thing has made me think it was going to just be Bowen, but I think I'm happy with your gross pick, actually. And then Haaland would come out and we'd put in Solanke. The perfect amount.
Are you keeping Alvarez?
Yes, I'm keeping Alvarez. I like it.
Wow, I can't believe that.
Look at that. Perfect. Balanced as all things should be.
Is that your team?
That would be my wildcard draft, had I look at it.
I like it. I like
nice.
it.
Yeah.
I
it's
think
interesting.
the Solanke pick is the one that would probably make you beat me.
Yeah,
That's the one
and your
where I wouldn't go
Trippier
in,
pick
man.
will also make you beat me.
He would sit on my bench, to be honest. So
True.
I'll bench him until he does something.
Yeah.
Now, Nate, I challenge you. Create a new account. Okay.
Make this team.
And we're gonna make a wild card team. So in other words, making a card from scratch.
And see how they do for
But
the
you-
rest of the season.
But no changes. You just sit.
With the
and we
okay.
And we check 2 months, okay, around the time when you expect all those players to return. So let's say about
Like mid-Feb, March.
mid-Feb, March, we'll make a date when all those players are back.
We'll review
I
the
wanna
teams and see what they look
whose
like.
team actually set a leave, captain included, whose team actually made the most points. What do you
I
think?
like it. That's a great idea. There's a little tournament within the battle. I dig it.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, unless you have anything to add, I think that's pretty much it.
No, I just like to hear from everybody whose team you like more. You
Yeah,
like
let
Dr.
us know.
Nate's?
We'll do a little
Right.
poll and on X, and you can see which one you prefer. Let us know if any of these players you would have in your team. Let us know if you would change anything. Maybe you can give us some insight as well. We don't know everything, so maybe we've overlooked someone. It's very possible. There's a lot of players.
Not
but
Dr. Nate.
I'm still first. But anyway, as the ref blows us off the field for added time, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you later in the week for our Game Week 21 podcast.